How I train loose leash walking in 15 minutes. Before you begin, make sure your dog is conditioned.
How I train loose leash walking in 15 minutes. That already tells me that we don't really know what loose leash walking is. Loose leash walking is about connecting, being with somebody, having a conversation. Imagine if you said how to have a reliable relationship in 15 minutes. It already says a lot.
To the equipment you're using. You're going to apply directional pressure on the leash, then release the pressure, mark and reward once they give in.
The word pressure, that's also saying a lot. I can't tell very clearly, but I believe the dog is wearing a prong collar, which is very commonly used with aversive or balance trainers. They feel as though you need to make a dog feel uncomfortable in order for them to know what not to do. But there's really no need for that when it comes to dog training or having a relationship with a dog or anyone. There's no need to apply pressure, tension. You just want to show them what you do want more of, and they're going to want to do just that.
Phase 1 of loose leash walking is the U-turn phase. You're going to walk back and forth in a straight line. If the dog doesn't pay attention, they hit the end of the leash, that's on them. If they catch the U-turn, you're going to mark an award.
How is that on them? We've placed them in that environment where we are supposed to set them up to succeed. It's like saying if we have a toddler join a class and if they don't succeed, that's on them. No, it's not. It's on us. They're going to be a byproduct of their environment, and their environment is supposed to set them up to succeed. I'm worried now about the rest here because they're going to apply the U-turn method, which in some cases it might actually help a dog reset and take a break, come back with you. That's really what that's supposed to do, not make them feel as though, okay, we're doing U-turn, I don't know what else to do. As a result, let me engage with you. No, we really want a U-turn or a reset to allow our dogs a break, if anything, especially if they're reactive, stressed, or scared. That U-turn or just taking them away from that environment allows them to reset, engage with us, to have a conversation. With the dog here, and you'll see the dog is not really giving the person holding the leash much engagement.
You're going to walk back and forth in a straight line. If the dog doesn't pay attention, they hit the end of the leash.
Yeah, see, the dog should already be engaging with you. If you're having to do something that in a way forces them to pay attention, something's going on there that we need to tackle. Either we're not in the right environment, the dog is disengaged, distracted, stressed, unsure, and we need to work on those things first so the dog is then going to have an easier time wanting to engage with us, to communicate with us, and we can then respond.
Phase 2 of loose leash walking is sporadic walking. You're going to change your pace and your direction abruptly.
Again, we're almost forcing the dog to engage, and you see the dog there slowing down. He's stopping. He did it before when they were doing the U-turn as well. The dog is staying back to give themselves a moment to try to understand what is going on, what's happening, because they want to get information. So the dog is trying to start a conversation, but the person holding the leash is just walking. So it's not really giving much of a chance to, oh, okay, we're doing that. Oh, okay, we're doing this, without really, hey, what are we doing together? It's, I just have to follow you, but is it out of, I have no choice because I'm attached to you, or no, I want to engage with you and thus I want to follow you, be with you.
There's a consequence. It's the dog's job to pay attention to you, not the other way around.
You see there how the leash is reaching its end? That's again because the dog is staying back. The dog is actually wanting to avoid this. I can bet you that dog wants out, and you see there exactly how that dog is trying to achieve.
It's the dog's job to pay.
Just looking away, like, where is my out? How can I avoid this? How can I put an end to this? Because it doesn't feel good. And the person holding leash, and I guess doing the voiceover of this video, used the word disruptor, or I think at least, let me play this back, when he said that we're gonna make sudden movements and move around. Again, it's to keep the dog guessing, not to keep the dog engaged, but because a dog is on a leash, he has to find some way to engage to get information and figure out what's going on.
Phase 2 is sporadic walk. Change your pace and your direction abruptly.
Yes, sporadic. What kind of relationship do you want where that's the motivator for what you do? It just doesn't make sense.
If they don't pay attention, there's a consequence.
There, you see the dog is stopping, and it almost looks like the dog is actually wanting to engage, but if the dog wanted to engage more, they would keep walking. And that's the goal here, but not being achieved. And even if they do, it's not because the dog wants to follow. With a loose leash exercise, you have the dog on leash for safety more than to get them to do something. And here, the dog is not choosing to, and you'll see it here again, the dog is staying back.
It's the dog's job to pay attention to you, not the other way around.
It's not the dog's job to pay attention to you. It's both of your jobs to engage and want to feel good with each other. And it starts on us. We chose to put the dog there. We chose this environment. We chose when. We chose how. The most they can do is what the dog was doing there, which is try to stop as a way to communicate, hey, I don't really understand what's going on. But the person's just walking on and not hearing that. There's no conversation. Therefore, it's hard to have an actual loose leash walking experience where we feel loose and relaxed and actually with each other, as opposed to one moves on and the other just has to figure out how to catch up.
Loose leash walking is to punish the pulling. If the dog feels the pressure and intentionally braces into it, you create slack, then pop on the leash.
Oh,
The
no, I
level
can't. That's the dog was smelling. Maybe at most keep walking like earlier to get the dog to realize, oh, we're not smelling anymore. The pause is over. We're moving on. Okay. But this, it's not needed. Not acceptable. It's not okay. It's not making the dog go, oh, sorry, I forgot to be with you. Rather, oh, okay, we're going. I have no choice. And it doesn't feel good. Dog training, raising a dog, any relationship, it's about choice, consent, comfort to actually want to be with you and do things with you. That's the beauty of dogs. If we just allow it for them to choose and set them up for success in environments where they can choose and feel good choosing, they will. But this is not that. There's correction, there's force. It's just not a positive experience.
you use is going to be dependent on the sensitivity levels of the dog and the levels of the competing motivator. The biggest mistake people make in phase 3 is they never actually punish the pulling. They pussyfoot around.
There's no need to, I hate the word that he's using, as if we're scared. No, we want to make our dogs feel good. And that's something to be mindful of. We don't want to punish. So it's good that people are not resorting to that, because I'd rather have just flat out a disconnect and we can build that, as opposed to not only disconnect, but also a negative association with being anywhere close to each other. And again, we're seeing this dog not wanting to engage with the person holding the leash despite everything they've done. And of course, with everything they've done, the dog has zero incentive right now to engage.
Corrections because they feel good about it emotionally. In the loose leash walking, the dog has a lot of freedom. They're allowed to be in front, behind, right, left, looking, sniffing. It doesn't matter. The only rule is they must not pull, which means I'm in their head.
Okay, leave it at that. Even I can maybe try to get on board with, okay, keep them guessing, having to figure out that the only thing that's going to pay off is just walking with you. There's moments where if there's a car, a dog, I'm not asking or having a conversation, hey, do you want to walk? We have to move. But that's a matter of safety. And here, that's not the case. There's no one in danger, but there's also no incentive. I've seen nothing that lets me know that we're trying to create a desire for the dog to want to engage with us, walk with us in a comfortable manner. And the word pressure, punishing, I'm in their head. What?
They must not pull, which means I'm in their head.
Which means I'm in their head. Not their heart.